or I don't believe what you said is true. But like I said, it goes back into you being honest. He's able to really show you according to what you're really looking for.
Exactly.
So
that's true. Because I had a dad that was like not really approachable. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what made me so scared of him. Mm-hmm. You know, scared of God, is because I used to be like, he don't want to hear these problems. You know, he's not approachable, whatever. And it's not the same. Like, it's not the same at all. But yeah, that was good. So what advice would you give to someone that's starting out in this beauty industry, whether it be an esthetician, a barber, or a hairstylist? Mm-hmm. Just one piece of advice that you could give them that would help them start this journey, because we don't know who's really listening.
There can only be one you, so be you. Granted, there's 1,000,001 barbers, estheticians, cosmetologists, but there's only one you. And those people who are for you, they're going to come to you, and they want to stay with you if they for you. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, so tell me a time when you felt like you got in trouble with God. Like, have you ever had a moment where you just was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Mm-hmm. I'm in trouble with my father. I don't know if he's, going to get me, or if I'm going to be punished, or, because I've had moments like that. Like, I've honestly had moments where, like, I knew something was wrong. I did it anyway. And I just thought I was going to be in this big, big trouble. And what I got in return was just more love. And I was like, why wouldn't I want to serve a God like this? Mm-hmm. Like, I understand.
It's hard because the same thing you said, as far as you're in trouble, but you just get more love.
Yes.
It's hard to even really recollect on a problem or an issue that I had with God as far as me getting in trouble, because it ended well, so I can't even remember. But I think, not to give a circumstance, but to give like what it looks like.
Yeah.
If God told me something and I go do contrary to what He told me after He told me multiple times, especially if He told me multiple times.
Yeah.
When He has to, that's what it is. When God tells me something in private, that's when, I'm great. If I don't listen beyond then, and He keeps telling me in private, He'll have somebody else tell me. And that's when I know I'm in trouble, because along with that comes embarrassment and, judgment as far as from that person now.
Yeah.
So then I'll be like, He did tell me, and now I got to face more than I would have faced if I just listened.
That's good. That's good. What is one of your main goals this year that you want to walk out with God?
Being rooted. Yeah. With all the things that I've been going through in the last 3 years, I felt like it initiated with God telling me I can trust Him and I can just rest in Him. So this year, I want to conclude like this year and entering into the next year with fully knowing that God has my finances under control, God has my mind under control, God has my family under control, and my future under control, and you can just rest and be obedient. That
looks good. That sounds really good, to rest. I struggle still sometimes with that, being rooted, because I think, like, when you have a lot on your plate, or when you like you're in a whole bunch of different things, or involved in a whole bunch of different things, like, sometimes you tend to let it take it'll distract you, is what I'm trying to say. So that is one of my focus this year too, is to like cut out the distractions. Like, even now with us sitting right here, me having the Cover by God on the TV is a big step, because I normally watch it on my phone, but then I'm distracted because somebody texting and I'm swiping down. I'm not really paying attention. So I'm trying to do things. I'm trying to put things in order to make me stay focused and not distracted, and to stay rooted. So yeah, I really resonate a lot with what you just said. So in your new journey with God, how do you plan on trusting Him?
Taking my hands off of stuff.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, no,
it's not easy, but it's good.
Taking my hands off of stuff, taking my worries off of stuff. How do I plan on?
Yeah, like how do you, like, is there something that you told yourself, like how you just said, like this year and beyond, you plan on being rooted? I guess that answers the question, you know, that you plan on being rooted. That's going to help you trust him more. But like for me, I sit back sometimes and I be like, okay, like when people do goals or whatever, most of my goals are always about how I'm going to do better with God, or how am I going to allow God to work through me. Because I have this ministry, you know, with Kingdom Hairstylist, but I want to make sure that I'm really doing the work too, or, you know, that he wants me to do.
Right.
And I want to make sure that I do it well. You know what I mean? I steward well over all the things that he's given me. So I plan out things like that. Like I'm like, how are you going to trust him more? So what are you going to do when this comes up? What are you going to do when that comes up? Because those are the things that you struggled with last year. You can't go into this year doing those same things. Now, you know, just because we make plans don't mean we always going to stick to them.
Right.
But I just felt like asking you that question just so that like the listeners could get an understanding of like when you plan, or when you think about God, like how do you plan on doing things differently, walking into, and I say a new journey because you're heading into a whole other journey because you're moving from behind the chair to like actually teaching. So it's going to be another level of trust. Right.
Yeah, so the only plan and strategy that I have and that I think is the most effective is to literally stay in the Word. During the pandemic, during that whole time when we were like at home, I was so rooted because I literally sat in my room all day and read, just read. Yeah. So I need to get back to that because I felt like he put more responsibility on me now to see if I'm still going to obtain that. And I know that I can because he tells me I can. So that's praying and reading my word. Yeah, that's my strategy.
Okay, I love it. I love it so much. All right, so if you could tell God one thing right now, what would you say to him?
You funny. You real funny.
Like you had all this stuff lined up. Okay, you funny, God.
Yeah, you're hilarious.
That is so funny. Yeah, Lauren, so this has been really, really good. I have had a wonderful time interviewing you, even though I already knew some of this stuff, but it's still good to like get a different, well, not a different outlook, but well, yeah, I guess I could say a different outlook on how you, how your thoughts are or whatever on different topics that we might not have discussed at work, or just an everyday conversation. So I wanted to know where the people can follow you if they wanted to connect with you in any kind of way. You know, maybe they want to follow your page, or you know, when you put out new content, they want to see it.
So I can be followed on Instagram at Adams Eve Bath Body Co.
Good.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lauren, for doing this interview with us. I hope that the listeners have been encouraged by your testimonies and everything that you said on here today. I appreciate you all taking the time out to listen to this podcast. And I'll be sure to put her Instagram handle in the show notes just in case you guys didn't have a pen or you was driving and wanted to go look at her page or anything like that. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I'll be back with another episode next week. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like it, subscribe to it, and share it with all of your friends.